Bitcoin and Litecoin, more correction or new highs? What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. I hope everybody's having a fabulous Thursday. We're going to take a look at Litecoin, take a look at Bitcoin in the charts, see where we might be headed, and tell you what I think is going on and where I think we're headed. But we're also going to take a look at the end of the video. Make sure you stick around for the Bitcoin daily chart versus the gold weekly chart. It's very interesting. We've been looking at it for quite a while now. It is playing out beautifully, so especially if you're new here, you definitely want to stick around and see that. Also, don't forget to leave your comment in the comment section down below. That'll get you entered to win a free t-shirt. We do a drawing on Sunday. We pick a random comment from a random video. And yeah, that's how you win the t-shirt. So if you guys haven't checked out the links below, definitely check those out. Those are the affiliate links. They help the channel out if you use them. There's a Coinbase link, ABRA link, Ledger link, and a Brave browser link. And I suggest you try the Brave browser if you haven't already. It's pretty awesome. So anyways, let's get into the video and see what's going on. All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market can be extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind that it's still a speculative market. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose. And with that being said, if you're new here or you haven't already, hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand side of the screen. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. Then if you tick the little notification bell, that'll get you notified when I post new videos so you don't miss out on anything, as I do post videos every day. And I do apologize for this one being later in the day. Usually they're morning videos. I woke up kind of late, had to rush into work. So anyways, I wanted to apologize for that. So definitely, if you like the content, share the video, smash the likes, leave your comments, let me know what you think. And let's see what's going on. All right, we're looking at Litecoin on the weekly, and I do believe that we are going to have a good weekend, in my opinion. This right here, we're about to have a bullish cross from the 21 EMA crossing the 55 EMA, and this is in the weekly. So as you can see, each time we cross, this was when the 8 crossed, big boost up here. This run up here was when the 13 crossed, and now we're looking at the 21 crossing the 55. So just wanted to show you guys that real quick. Now we're going to go into the daily chart and look at where the targets are. All right, so looking at this as a cup and handle, the measured move off of this line here, the $95 area, brings us up to this target up here of 167, and that is where I do believe we're headed, guys, before any big correction. So I'm going to take a look now at, I have a higher one here too, looking at this as a possible cup, and this is the handle forming now, and we come back up, and that neckline would be at about the $108 range, and the measured move off that, guys, is the 192. I definitely think that's definitely playable. It's in the cards. There's no doubt about it. I do believe we're going to continue up. I know people are starting to get really bearish and say that, you know, we need a huge correction and 30 to 40%. Maybe. I'm looking at more at 25%, but after we get some newer highs. So that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm seeing in the market. So let's look at the RSI on Litecoin on the daily. And as you can see, we're still in this rising channel. We had this little bear trap here, but we could be coming down for one more touch. Now, if we don't get support here and we fall through, obviously, then we'll have a bigger correction, and we're going to look at those targets. But I don't believe that's what's happening right now. And we're going to look at the 4-hour now. And as you can see, I keep these lines in here just if you're new here and you can kind of get an idea how we do this. We had this falling wedge here, which we knew if we popped up here, we were going to have a nice run up, which we did. And then we came into a falling channel and we popped out of that. And then we made another one, which we're in now. Now, this also is a rising channel here in these blue lines, which we popped out of. And now we're coming up to test both the top of this falling channel and the bottom of this rising channel. If we blow through here, that's going to be bullish, guys. That's going to get us into this bigger falling channel and do another touch on the top, which I believe is most likely. But if we do get rejection here, we could come back all the way down here, which would be obviously the bigger correction. But let's take a look at price action in the 4 hour, and we'll take a look at the bearish scenario first, guys. I like to do that always, because if you're playing in the markets, you understand that anything can happen. But if you're prepared, it doesn't surprise you, and you know, makes it a whole lot easier, a lot less stress. So, but anyways, we're looking at, if you look at this line here, that matched the line on the RSI, which is right here, this blue line coming up in the channel. And we're coming up to test it now. And if you belong to our Discord group, if you don't, I suggest you check it out. There is a link to that below the video too in the description section. It's free Discord. A lot of good guys in there. A lot of different types of trading people do, and different charting. So definitely get a lot of experience in there for free, guys. So check it out. But I did post in there last night that we would come up and test the bottom of this again, which that looks like that's where Litecoin's headed now. And then if we were to get rejection, then we come back down and test the bottom of this ascending broadening wedge here, which would be around the $83 to $84 range, which would also line up with the 200 EMA on the 4 hour. So keep that in mind. But if we do break through here, we're going to obviously continue up. So let's look at the worst case scenario in this run, guys. And we'll take a look at the higher targets in a second, but we had this falling wedge here, which I also look at as a bull flag, and we'll look at that measured move here in a minute. But if we were to, if this $83 to $84 range didn't hold, and actually, guys, I'm thinking it's more going to be around the $84 range, but I'm going to keep it 83 in here. If that doesn't hold and we come down, then we're looking at the $64 range, guys, which would be testing the top of this channel again, which I doubt it's going to happen, but if it was to happen and come down here, I'm pretty sure we would get a pretty good bounce here. Worst case scenario, 51 bucks, and that's because that is the long-term trend line right here. So that's where I'm at with that. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. And same thing with Bitcoin on the weekly. Looks like it wants to have the bullish cross with the 21 EMA crossing the 55 EMA. Wanted to point that out real quick. Now let's look at the daily. Like I said, everybody's getting bearish, expecting that big correction. I don't think it's happening, guys. Not anytime soon. We will have a nice correction, but I believe we're going to get to higher highs first before that happens. And then obviously that would, if we get to higher highs, that makes the dollar cost or the dollar average of the correction a lot higher. And I'll show you my views on that here in a second too. But taking a look at the daily. We were looking at this as a cup and handle down here, which it broke out, and we did hit our target. That was right up around the $8,400 range. And now I have this rising broadening wedge here, or ascending broadening wedge. The measured move off of it here, guys, is the $96 to $9,700 range. There's a good possibility we get up to there. I have some other targets here, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I do want to show you the bearish scenario also, guys. But first off, let's take a look at the RSI and look at the daily RSI on Bitcoin. And you can see I had this rising channel in the yellow. I drew this line on the bottom here because we had this little bear trap here. And I drew that in, I don't know, a week ago or whenever this happened. When was this? End of April, a few weeks ago. But I drew this in, and obviously you can see we got support again. Now, if we're to break down, obviously we'll have further down to go, but this seems to be holding now, and I think we're going to break back into this one, guys. So let's look at the 4 hour. Whoops. Dang it. We're going to look at the 4 hour RSI now and see what that is looking like. All right, as you can see, we've had this huge rising channel from way back in December. And we're still obeying it, still staying within it. And here we had a rising wedge, which we broke down out of here. And if you look here, I have this falling channel drawn here. And as you can see, we popped up out of it, and now we're riding on the top for support, the top of that channel. I do believe we're probably going to come up in this area somewhere. Worst case scenario, it comes back, touches the bottom of this channel again. But guys, like I said, I believe we're headed up this way. And let's look at the price action. Let's see. Got it here. Sorry about that. All right. So looking at the price action in the 4 hour. Same thing yesterday. Obviously we're breaking out here. So this will be broken out by the time I'm done with this video. I did put a long in here. I think it was at 78.60, somewhere in that range. But obviously I put my stops right below this channel, guys. So anyways, I will look at the bearish scenario first. And also, if you belonged to the Discord last night, you remember I put a chart up. I didn't do a lot last night because I worked really late, but I did manage to throw a chart up when we popped down here, and I put an arrow pointing at the bottom of this channel here. I call it the old channel, and said we would go to test the top of that, and I was going to sell when it tested, and then if it broke through, I was going to buy back in, and that's what I did today, obviously. But yeah, we're back in that channel now. This is bullish, guys. I do think we're headed up to this area, but I am going to take a look at the lower targets. The measured move of that channel coming down where we broke down here, even over here the first time, I had around 69, but obviously we had that funky wick. But anyways, still looking at that. If should get support here, guys. If we do continue down at the 7,000, 6,900, but I don't see that yet. That could come later, like I said. 7,000. If we reach new highs here, 7,000 might be our correction area. But like I said, the top of this rising channel, or rising wedge that I was showing you, that got us the measured move of the 96.22. Oh, what am I doing? I can't keep my chart straight today. Anyways, I believe that's going to be our new support, guys. I am screwing everything up. What's going on? Anyways, I believe this is going to be our new support. So I do see us probably coming up to this area, and we'll take a look at these targets first. But if we make it up to that $9,600 range, I believe our correction will bring us back down to touch this somewhere and then continue up from there. So this is my opinion, guys. I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own charting. Don't listen to any YouTuber or anybody in any chats. It's good to learn and help each other out and whatnot, but you know, do your own due diligence, make your own decisions. And let's look at, that's the bearish scenario, guys. I mean, worst case, we might come down to the 6,200 area, but I do have some targets I'll show you in the end in that Bitcoin daily versus gold weekly chart. So definitely stick around for it. Now let's look at what's going on here. All right, this is a falling wedge that I've been showing in the Discord. And the measured move, if we measure this as a flagpole and this being a bull flag, the measured move would be up to this $8,800 range. But the other way we can look at that, since it is a falling wedge, you would measure just the wedge. Let's see, that would be right here. Measure just the wedge and put it up to where it breaks out. And that would be more towards the $8,600 range, guys. But I do have this marked here at 85.50, which would be the top of this channel. Watch there for rejection. If we get rejection, we may come back down and test the bottom of the channel again. But like I said, guys, I do see us going up. You know, I know everybody's panicking, calling for 6,000 lows, blah blah blah. I don't see us correcting there. Not right now, guys. I see it going up further. So, anyways, that's where I'm at with Bitcoin, man. Obviously this, I think I showed you that, the measured move from that rising broadening wedge, and that's up to the 9,600 area. The 9250 I have here is just a measurement of this channel. We were to break out up here, so you know that gets us up to the 9250, 93. Actually, this channel's rising now, so that target is going to move up to right around 9,300. So yeah, looks good. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin daily chart versus the gold weekly chart. Look at the similarities. Beautiful. And I do believe this is going to play out like this, or damn close, guys. So if you haven't seen this before, I drew trend lines from the top of each peak down to the 6,000 range where it broke out. And then we'll zoom in here in a little bit, and you can see each trend line became resistance, and then we broke through, it became support all the way up. But I have this yellow line here, and this is my target for the end of the year. Believe it or not, I know it's a bold statement, but it is my opinion, and 46,000 range is where I see us by the end of the year. And if you look, this is how I got it, just going back and forth between these two charts. So anyways, as you can see in gold, obviously this is the weekly chart, guys. This is over 20 some years, and then Bitcoin is over 2 years, but a pattern is a pattern. Human emotion is human emotion, and charts just work like that. So anyways, yeah, we had a nice rounded bottom, 2 touches on the bottom of this trend line, and then continued up from there. Once we broke through this last resistance line, you see what happened. And right in here, guys, I like to point out the gold ETF was approved right here. And you can see what happened after it. Everybody that says the ETF won't help Bitcoin, won't do whatever, it will. And I do believe, even if it's not the ETF, there's some huge news coming soon. I mean, anytime from now to maybe 2 months from now at the most, I believe. And that is going to surprise everybody. So it's in the charts, man. I don't know how else to explain it. But anyways, let's go back over to gold's or Bitcoin. Same thing. 2 touches on that bottom. Like I said, once we broke through those, and guys, this is why I believe hyperwave is bullshit. And I like to say that just because you can see this is looks just like Bitcoin went down. If the hyperwave theory was true, and I've been saying this, mind you, since January, so the hyperwave was true, that gold would have went down to like $50 before this. But obviously it's bullshit. It doesn't work. It's clickbait crap, charging people. Another thing, please don't pay people to learn how to chart, guys. You can learn it on your own. There's so much free information out there. Quit getting ripped off by these guys and feeding their gambling habit. I hate seeing people get screwed like that, man. But anyways, sorry about the rant. All right. So as you can see, like I said, I was going to zoom in here and show you each one of these trend lines acted as resistance and then support once we broke through. And this was the last one. I don't know if I count this wick as a retest of it. So that's why I'm saying we may come up, you know, to the $9,600 range and then come back down, possibly to test this. Worst case on this is around $6,600, guys. But I don't think we're gonna do that. Not by what I was looking at in the other charts. But we do have to keep that in mind. And then if that broke through, obviously, then we're looking at the 5,100, which is possible. I can't say it's not possible, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Anyways, yeah, everything's looking pretty bullish and pretty good in my opinion right now. So let's look at the RSI. I want to show you guys why I believe, obviously, the bottom's in, and I think a lot more people believe that now, but I was saying that when everybody was still calling for new lows, especially the $1,000 low. Anyways, this 2017 bull market and followed by the 2018 bear market, and I drew a trend line down. Mind you, this trend line was drawn before this stuff. But anyways, and here's the 2013 bull market followed by the bear market. And if you look at the trend line, we had 2 touches for resistance, and then it broke through. Same thing over here, 2 touches for resistance, and then it broke through. I know everybody's saying, but it's overbought. It's overbought up here. You can see what happened here, and look at the first time it got overbought over here. That was December in 15, and obviously everything kept moving up since from that point. But then we look at 17 when we had the huge bull run. You can see these big dips, and it came right back up. You know, I believe that's what we're going to be seeing here, but we're going to be seeing much higher highs. So 46,000 by the end of the year, guys. I am seriously thinking that is the target for me, but it could go much higher. But I do think that'll be a minimal between 40 and 46,000. All right, let's look at the monthly chart, or the monthly RSI. Excuse me. And as you can see, you can look back at my videos too through all year. We've been watching this and talking about it. So this is 2013 bull market, 2017 bull market, followed by the bear market. Each one of these arrows represents a new low in the RSI. We had 4 of them. Same here in this bear market. Now we're moving up. The difference here, guys, I believe this arc is going to be a lot faster. Just my opinion, but that seems to be the way it's playing out, guys. I don't know. Looks like it's going to be a damn good year for Bitcoin and Litecoin, guys. So if you liked the video, don't forget to click the Crypto Savvy logo above my head. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell. That'll get you notified when I post new videos so you don't miss out on anything. Smash those likes. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think, guys. I appreciate you stopping by, and I will see you tomorrow.